Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this game's worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Last Epoch. Who needs Diablo 4? Last Epoch combines parts of Diablo 3, 2, and Path of Exile to make an ARPG filled with tried and true ideas. But does the game pull it off? Let's find out. Last Epoch is an isometric action RPG in the vein of Diablo with a heavy focus on skill customization, build diversity, and its crafting/item augmenting system. The premise starts like a typical fantasy JRPG until after the first boss, you're pulled into a rift and sent to a post-apocalyptic future. It seems that at some point in time, a powerful entity known as the Immortal Emperor destroyed and enslaved the world, so you'll need to hop between time periods to find a way to kill him. And if this sounds like the plot of the Super Nintendo game Chrono Trigger, that's because it is, all the way down to the game having more than a few subtle Easter eggs referencing it. The base combat and skill systems themselves are themed around Diablo 3, in that you don't have to spend skill points to unlock abilities, instead you're given them naturally either through leveling up or investing points in a passive tree. Each of the game's 5 classes has both a core passive tree and then can pick one of 3 secondary classes early on in the story. Your specialized classes comes with a host of new passives, as well as new abilities to direct your build. The main drive comes from skill specializations, so you can mark each of your 5 skills as a specialized skill, which means it gets XP as you play and grants it a massive skill tree to evolve. These upgrades augment the skill in some crazy ways, which is where the build customization comes in. You have 20 levels to invest into your skills, and there are synergies galore across the many skill trees, so min-max to your heart's content. The gameplay loop itself is very simple, as you'll be exploring various areas, unlocking waypoints, and killing tons of stuff with your spicy augmented moves. While enemies do drop a lot of loot, it is de-emphasized to a point, in that you won't usually be constantly switching gear. Instead, you'll mostly be gathering crafting components used to augment the gear you already have in a surprisingly robust crafting system, so similar to your build, you can essentially min-max your gear as well. Of course, there are legendary pieces of gear that outshine even the most augmented weapons, which you will be on the hunt for. That's basically it. Last Epoch is an ARPG attempting to remove the more common pain points found in the genre, while emphasizing its build crafting and satisfying loop. So what do I like about Last Epoch? Build crafting is exceptional here. Honestly, it might be the best out of any ARPG I've played in recent years, with the skill upgrades being so unique and diverse that I wanted to play through the game again with the same class multiple times to experiment with new builds, as well as try new classes as they all felt unique. Additionally, the loot system is really clever. Deprioritizing drops in lieu of crafting your own perfect item makes the game much less grindy, until the end game where you might need some legendaries. And lastly, the game's setting of time traveling between different epochs allows for a ton of variety in locations and enemies, which games like this really need. When it comes to the bad, respecking skills is currently much too expensive and really kills build exploration, as it basically just deletes the level to give you the point back, which you then have to earn again. Additionally, the game's current endgame is a little drab. This is mostly just running monoliths over and over. I'm not saying it's terrible, but there definitely could be more to incentivize continued plays or playing with multiple classes. And additionally, there's a lot of stuff here straight up pulled from Diablo 2 and 3, all the way down to the Flame Orb and Disintegration spell looking identical. I get it being a homage, but it does make it lose some of its own unique identity. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale. Must play, maybe consider, don't bother. I absolutely think if you like action RPGs, you should be playing Last Epoch, and it is a hidden gem. I'm not gonna lie, I played this right after the Diablo 4 beta, and I cannot believe how much more fun I had with Last Epoch. Its multiple classes have so much build diversity, it's inspiring, upgrades feel significant and meaningful, and the loot system was designed to prevent frustration. This game really is the best bits of Diablo 3, Path of Exile, and Diablo 2 mashed together, so if you have any affinity for these types of ARPGs, do not skip over Last Epoch. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you played Last Epoch, have you heard of it? Please let me know in the comments if you've given it a shot, but regardless, I highly recommend getting out there and giving it a look.